All
If
right,
anybody objects, I'm sorry. Nobody has crazy eyes, so you're welcome.
we are recording. So while I'm doing our announcements, go ahead and be thinking about what you're grateful for, 1 or 2 words. And so, okay, here we go. So I'm going to ask Michelle to stop her thinking about her 1 or 2 words because we're going to talk t-shirts and tank tops for a second. Michelle, do you want to update us on that?
Yeah, so I thought I was gonna have a rain day at the beach and be able to work on it, and I didn't. So, but I did today play around a little bit in custom ink, and it's super easy. So I sent Ashley a couple of the designs that we already saw. So I should have stuff up and ready to go by Wednesday is my goal. I'm pretty slow at work this week, so I think I can steal an hour or 2 and work on it.
So you guys, we were thinking we would do like a dark gray or like a heather gray option and then like a black option too. So what would you rather have? Like, because we can't do like gray and black for the t-shirt, gray and black for the tanks, I don't think. So like, let's pick like, what do you want to do? Like gray t-shirt, black tanks, black t-shirt, gray tanks. Like, what are you guys thinking?
Black t-shirt, gray tank. Proceed. Everyone else, you can vote. That's just my vote.
I can show you what the gray tank top looks like. Let me see if I can pull it up.
What color is the ink going to be?
Oh man, I can't. Oh, here it is.
Yeah, I'm sorry. We weren't prepared for this.
I don't know. Can you guys see that?
Yes.
Yes.
So it's kind of a slate gray. Would you call it slate?
Yeah. I know that's like a really bad. Look at my phone.
I think this is a little too light. Oh God.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's too light.
But we like the logo though. Like just with different, like I would like to do a black shirt with like the black to be something else though, like silver or gray or, you know, something like that.
Yeah, I can do that.
And then I do like that tank top though.
Yeah, it's a cute tank top.
Lift it up, Ash. There you go.
I like it's my whole chat with her on text message.
What's up?
What's up, girl?
We're pretty lame these days. We're just talking about t-shirts and babies. Okay, so anybody else have any opinions on colors? Speak now.
You've got good taste. You can you guys can figure it out.
Okay,
and I'll do some of the whole like strong mom kid thing
strong
too.
like mom. Yeah.
Yep.
We one of those for sure. Okay, cool. So that'll be done by Wednesday so we can place orders like this week.
Yay.
I'm so excited. Okay.
Yay. Sorry, vacation got in the way, guys.
Whatever.
We didn't get to go on vacation.
Speaking of tanks, did you guys see on Team Icon 2018?
I did.
So they're doing an SC10 or more tank. It's pretty cute. It's got a pineapple for the O. It's pretty adorable. So if Success Club is on your radar, then that's something that's a goal to definitely shoot for. I wanted to talk about the community for a couple minutes. I asked Brittany in advance, by the way, if I could steal 10 minutes at the beginning. I want to talk about the community. Guys, it's like 12 people a day are posting. Like it's legit not great right now. And so I want to brainstorm as a team here just to see what are some ways we can boost some engagement. I know Mom and I have got a couple like side challenges that we're talking about down the pipe, but like this community is an ongoing thing. So what ideas can we generate right now to just bring the engagement back? I was thinking maybe going back to like doing like a Sunday like reflection or video like on my part just to kind of bring people back in after the weekend. We could do pop-up bonus type things. I mean, I don't know. What are you guys thinking?
So I think the bonus idea is really good. You knew I was going to say something, Mama Sparks. I think we could also just like not necessarily step away from the fitness and nutrition, but also like add in some just personal fun. So like maybe meme Mondays or something and just have people post a bunch of memes and like just funny stuff kind of like refreshing, upbeat, just easy. You know, like the water Wednesdays, like just random little fitness tips and stuff here and there. And, you know, even if we're doing, I mean, there are 7 of us on the call now. So like if somebody takes one a day and you just throw like a random thing in there, it could be a meme, it could be something funny, a video, a tip, whatever, just throwing little things. I know Mama Sparks is always doing her daily tip. So just like little things like that, I feel like could help too. Just people, I feel like they're always like, oh, well, I'll go in there if, you know, if I'm doing my workouts or if I'm doing my nutrition. I am the worst about posting food. I take my pictures. You can see, I take them. I never post them. I'm like, what is wrong with me? But I don't do it. I do it for like 4 days and then I stop. So it's just little things like that. And maybe even set timers for ourselves and just, that's my 2 cents.
Mm-hmm.
Is it, I have one thing to say. Could be, I've personally just noticed, because I know Lift 4 is only 4 days. Could it be that people are just posting less because they're working out less too, because so many people are doing Lift 4?
I don't know, because I see y'all all the time.
Wow.
I think we've had some people coming back in too, and then some people fading out that were really consistent. So I don't know. I think a lot of teachers in there too. It's back to school time, so.
You know what we could do too is like back to the school year, kiddie lunches or like work lunch ideas. Like I know Alex is really good about prepping all of her work lunches every day. So like just little things like that, like how to prep your lunches, how to prep your stuff, easy back to work stuff, like schedule's chaotic, just little things for Sunday, for Wednesdays. I noticed that people have a tendency to prep for the next few days on those days. So maybe it's just kind of a good time to hit them with it.
I think any kind of value that we can give and keep it lighthearted would be good. Maybe our thing we need to do is for the next couple days, Ashley, or a few days, maybe everybody write down some ideas and we can come back together on the community thread, on the family thread, you know, our coach thread. I'm sorry,
yeah.
I'll get it out in a minute, and see if we can come up with some stuff. I mean, I tried once to do that, post something happy like about workouts or something and then tag somebody, and it went like 3 deep. People just, they either are engaged or they're not. I personally think right now, I think we've been really lucky all summer that we've had as much engagement as we have. And I think right now people are just getting their kids ready for school. Teachers are getting ready to go back to work. Some of them are excited and some of them are not.
Ready. Get me out of here.
So I think if we can just, I really think there's a value for a really big need for recipes. Like if we could figure out a graphic or something where we could, instead of doing just hodgepodge a bunch of recipes, just random, figure out a way to make it a format. Like today is Tuesday, so it's recipe day, you know, and maybe
or like Taco Tuesday and have people put in all their taco recipes, or like crock pot day and like have everybody throw in a crock pot recipe, or just
because I think if we just say like post your favorite recipe, it gets too crazy. Like it gets way too crazy.
Or they might even just feel overwhelmed and not do it.
Right. And I think too, another good idea, and then we'll move on because I think that's a great idea to post a graphic and then we can all post below it. I was thinking too of like letting them vote on something. Like if a lot of us are we all doing Lift 4 pretty much at this point? Yeah. So maybe we say like something jazzy for like Saturday or Sunday where like they vote for what they want to see their coaches do, like what workout they want to see us do or something like that. Even we give them some options. Like I know I would be completely mortified if they pick Country Heat, which is probably why they're going to pick Country Heat. But you know what I mean? Like where we could all like do like a little video, or you know what I mean? Like something like that too, just to like bring them in to the page too. You give them some options, and then maybe people seeing those options and those ideas will dig a little deeper into BOD as well. So, okay. So a couple ideas that, before I get into that, Super Saturdays and Sundays, check your local listings for those. Virginia people, we are October 20th and 21st. Shut up. You're judging me.
Yes.
So check. I know there's one in Cleveland. There's Pittsburgh. Be checking for that. I know we have Sagi, which is like, meh, meh, but we can still get some good knowledge from that. And he's a weights guy, and we can't do any weights at our Super Saturday Sunday. So it's interesting. So yeah, keep on the lookout for that. Couple things to keep in the back of your mind. Mom and I were wanting to do some kind of like back to school boot camp or back to school like detox or something. Like the kids are back at school, take some time to focus on you if you haven't been, kind of whatever. And then we were thinking like holiday hustle, something in like early November, and carrying it on till like the new year, where people can that would be like a BOD only group, where like you don't have to be doing a specific program, but you do need to be doing Beachbody on Demand something.
Right.
Most of the time, just to like kind of do a final push at the end of the year for people to commit to BOD, even if it's $99. They could even start with the free 2 weeks, but then they have to stay in the group. They have to carry on with it. Okay, so those are 2 things to be thinking about. And for the formatting for that, Mom and I were talking about, she had noticed a couple different challenge groups. I know the people who are in Joel's group are noticing, like, he's the admin, he posts something, and then everybody posts under him. And what she is, Mom, do you want to speak on that for a second, like the format that you had seen?
Well, I don't know if you're following in the group the coaches videos he's having with different coaches. The one, I think her name, I should have looked, but I forgot. I think her name was Amy, the first coach he did. And she described her page, and what really stuck out to me was she has a graphic, like for instance, say you were doing Obsession day 1, and there was like a picture of the person, and everybody posts their workouts under that graphic instead of just hodgepodge all throughout the page. It keeps it more uniform and streamlined to where you won't miss as many people. Like, I know there's sometimes when I can go on there and I might not see your post for 2 days and that's even with me being on it all the time. So I think that was something we could work on, the formatting of our group page, but just a little bit to keep things more, and then maybe have a section where it's just a place to put, I tried this really good recipe.
Mm-hmm. And because it's a group, you can schedule those posts as well. So that's something to think about. We wouldn't have to like wake up at the crack of dawn, or else Michelle would have to post for us every morning. I'm just kidding.
I come up with all these amazing ideas, and I'm so tech not, I can't do any of them. So
You're gonna learn.
I'm learning. I did a few things, but if those of you who are really handy with that kind of formatting kind of thing would maybe get some really good ideas and jump in on that would be great.
Well, one thing with that, sorry.
No, you're good.
She got the graphics from
Beachbody.
From Beachbody. She
the back office.
She went to She went into coach office or coach relations, and she went to the program. It was like how to do your challenge groups, and then you pick the program. And then she copied all the pictures because Joel was like, everybody wants to know. I want to know, where did you get these pictures? And she's like, from the website. So just throwing that out there. It's there for us. So.
I love that. Okay. So the last thing I wanted to talk about before I turn it over to Brittany is the team call topics and frequency. So we've got Michelle up next week. And then Samantha the week after that. Samantha's the week after that. We are off for Labor Day, the Sunday of Labor Day weekend, because I know everybody's doing their own thing and traveling. We jump back in. Our September is full. We're going to take off the 30th. Again, I don't want everybody to burn out. I want to give like 1 a month or so off. And then I figure after then we can kind of reevaluate where we are with our needs and our topics, and then we can talk about frequency. My fear of going to every other week is that we'll be like, is tonight a team call? I don't know, is it? Like that's the beauty of having it every week, is that you just know it's every week and you don't get confused by the weeks, but then it also becomes a lot, especially when you're juggling other things. So we're going to talk about that a little bit more later. Mom, go ahead.
I was just going to say real quick, maybe once a month, instead of it just being for us coaches, we open it up to the community, and then pick a topic. And then maybe some people will start pulling into Zoom calls and get a little more energized into what we're doing.
That's a good idea. I like what Samantha's doing with the time savers, like the time tips and stuff. That could be like a general topic for everybody, like ways to prioritize your time and ways to, meal prep, things like that. We could pull people in for that for sure. All right, we got to move on. Things to think about. I'll post the community graphic ideas tomorrow, as well as the recording. So real quick, what are we thankful for, Michelle?
Family vacation.
Okay, Samantha.
I'm gonna go with church.
Okay, Alex. Alyssa.
Grace.
Marsha.
Determination.
Ashley, red wine. Brittany.
Disney.
Yay. All right, go ahead, Britt. We're all ears.
Okay. So you guys know that my big thing, or one of the things that I really like to do, are public call to actions. One reason I really like them is because I get so word vomity and overwhelmed when I'm doing the one-on-one. So I like to do my generic and then focus. But I was trying to figure out, like I've been thinking about this week, what is it? Because sometimes I'll do one, like something will just pop into my head and I'm like, okay, this is a really good moment. Like I need to share this with people. But what inspires me to have the public call to actions and like, how do I pick my topics and where do I go with that? I realized it comes from the personal development. So if you're not doing personal development, if you're not listening to podcasts or reading books or whatever it is, do it. Because sometimes you have these aha moments. I know a lot of us were reading Girl Wash Your Face, and there were so many times where I was like, ah, yes. And when I did that, I was like, wait a minute, if I'm doing that, somebody else will do the exact same thing. So what I've learned in doing my public call to actions, I either do them one of two ways. I either do it kind of short and sweet, where it's like, oh, working out with the kids today. What's stopping you? Comment below if you want in. Like, if you want more info on, keeping a healthy lifestyle for you and the kids. Or it's something that just like really digs deep with me. I saw somebody commented something, and I will check that in a second. But it could be, and I'm going to talk from my personal experience because that's what I do. But so for me, one of the things that I talk about a lot of times is all my health issues, right? Because I have people tell me all the time, they're like, oh, I can't do it. I'm not feeling really well. I've got this going on. I've got that going on. And I told Michael that one day, and he looked at me and he's like, do they know how many sicknesses you've had? Do they know your organs actively trying to escape your life? Like, do they know? And I was like, no, calm down. Like, not everybody knows this. And so that's one of the things that I've tried to share, because it's like, it's almost like crushing their objections before they give them to you, but not in a, you suck, I don't want to hear it, like just be quiet kind of way, because then they're like, well, I'm going to need you to not take that tone with me, and I'm not going to do anything you suggest, no matter how credible you are. So it's being real, being raw, being honest, and just at the end of your story, it doesn't have to be like, I really need you to do this with me, I'm going to motivate it can be, you can get super passionate and have the, I can do everything with you, let's do this. But it could also be something like, just comment below if this sounds like something you might want to learn more about. Be honest, be real, be vulnerable, but just the little bit at the end too, I find is more effective than berating people or trying to make them feel guilty. I know for me, if somebody tries to guilt me into something, it's just never going to be something that I do. It's just not. Alex, don't make that face at me. I saw that. She knows me a little well. I might be stubborn. But it's true. I don't. It's very much, I have to come to my own terms, and my people are the same way. I mean, there were some people in my life I just didn't approach about this, and I know that it would really benefit them. And I know people were like, no, just talk to them. I'm like, no, they will do this in their own time. They will come, and they have come, and they've tried it. But it's reading your people. Hey, Alex. So it's reading your people, knowing your audience. And even some of my call to actions have been on my social media, Insta stories or Facebook stories. and they don't have to be huge posts. Just, Samantha, myself, Mama Sparks, and Ashley are all doing it at this point where we're doing like little videos of our workouts, right? So I try to do at least 1 or 2 tips as comments on my Insta story, and then at the end it could be like, what's holding you back, right? It could be something just generic like, is this something you would want to learn more about? Do you have a bigger problem with nutrition? Do you have a bigger problem with fitness? People like those options, right? And if you give them right there, but it's not something where they have to comment and everybody else sees. Sometimes they like that option more. Something that I've kind of been dancing with and kind of afraid of myself. There is this option on Insta stories now where it's like, ask me anything. And I'm like, that's scary. I don't want you to ask me anything. Can you just ask me like a list of these questions so I can answer them for you? But I'm thinking it might be something that I do tonight, actually, now that I've mentioned it. But it's a scary thing. You can narrow it down. I've seen people, different coaches who say, ask me anything about my pre-workout drink, or ask me anything about my superfood, ask me anything about, and then you can kind of narrow it down there. And then they're posting the answers that they're getting to their Insta stories. I posted, hold on, I'm going to click on that. I'm going to be washing my face too. Yes. Read the book. I heard a yay face. Yes, I understand that. And then, are you getting all the nutrients you should be in a day? And let me just tell you, I messaged Ashley, I think it was like 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks ago. I have a word vomit problem. People who know me or have ever interacted with me actually may know this. So I was like, I don't know what to do. I'm pretty sure she wants a challenge pack, but I'm going to word vomit on her. How do I not? And she's like, why don't you ask her if she's getting all her nutrients in a day? And I was like, love it. Do you know that it was literally that easy? I was like, oh, okay. I did not do that before, but now I've been doing it with people and it's a big help. I've had people messaging me recently about meal prepping, posting the stuff to the Insta stories. If you throw it in the stories, and then you do one post about it, right? A call to action. They're like, oh, well, she's consistent on this. She posts her workout, she posts her food, she posts this. She's consistent. She can help me, right? So I wouldn't post something like, oh my gosh, I want to do makeup, right? Like I know nothing about makeup. Makeup is not my jam. Okay. I think I own mascara and eyeliner and a really good lipstick, and that's it. And I don't know what to do with them all. I just try. So if I posted something like that, they would look at me and be like, girl, I'm not coming to you for advice. You know nothing about this. So the more consistent you are with your regular posts, when you throw that call to action, they're going to listen a little more. And I word vomit. So I love questions. So if you want to throw questions at me, you can throw questions at me. I found that I had been sharing my story so much that people weren't necessarily as receptive to it anymore. Like they heard me and they're like, yeah, great, your organs fall. Have fun. Okay. And so I realized that please don't laugh at me. So I realized that if I was sharing more people's story, they're like, oh, she knows a little bit more than just about herself. Like this works for more than just her. And it's something I was talking to other people about. I have a hard time sharing Team Icons photos, and not because, they're not people or anything, but just because I don't add my people into Icon group. And when I have somebody who, decides that, they were really inspired by any of you guys, when I add them to the group, I want them to see you. You know what I mean? Like, I want them to see, oh, this is a real person that I'll interact with. Like, these are real people I see every day. It's not just a picture I pulled off of somebody that I know. So when I do that, a lot of times people are like, oh, and I like to so Alex, she's a world traveler. I'm not going to talk about that because I might cry, and I've already cried all week and I can't. Oh no, here it comes. Stop. Okay. So she's a world traveler, and so she's going to go and do all those amazing things, but she's going to do her bod stuff. It's fine. It's fine. I'm not going to cry. It's fine. Okay. So she's going to bring her bod. She's going to do all her stuff anyways for the entire year while she's in Myanmar. So I can't wait to share her stuff. We've got moms, we've got grandmas who are rocking this journey. We've got working moms, we've got stay-at-home moms, we've got all of the first responder wives. So I like throwing that stuff in. It's not just like, oh, here's Samantha, look how good she looks. It's like, here's Samantha, look at all the stuff she does in a day, look at all the BS she has to deal with, and look how great she looks. So the more stuff you throw in, and like the more people see that you're a real person, they're like, oh, the call to action when you ask me to comment below or message you or find out more about this, I'm more willing to do it. I like you, I know you. I feel like we're going to be BFFs. Just saying. Alex, thanks for making me almost cry on this call. I hate you. And I realize I did that to myself, but I'm going to still blame you. All right. I think that's it for Brittany. If you have other questions, you can comment below or unmute yourselves because it's very quiet. And then I'll just keep talking. It's like when people put food in front of me in a restaurant, Alex knows she has to make them take it away because I will just keep eating. I can be full.
All right, stop it.
Thank you. I wasn't going to stop.
Bye. So I wanted to talk a little bit about the questions thing because I know Brittany was like, ask questions, and I'm really big on that too, but only when I'm stuck. Because I feel like sometimes when we like just ask questions to ask questions, it can seem like we're like their therapist, and that's something we don't want to make them feel.
Yes.
I don't know, like we're some big expert and they could never live up to it either, though. You know what I mean? So it's like, I know there have been people in mine and mom's life where they're like, so how did that make you feel? And we're like, get out of my face, like we don't want to hear any of that right now. Like we just don't want to hear like that kind of a question. So make sure you're being pretty targeted based on what you're trying to get at too. Like when people are like, I just really want to lose weight and, all this stuff, I'll say, oh, well, what kind of exercises are you interested in? Because that gives them like a general parameter. And if they're like, none, I hate exercising, I'd be like, nothing, and I'll start listing like cardio, yoga, all this different stuff just to try to dig a little bit deeper. But if I were to be like, hey, I love cardio. Do you like cardio? That could seem a little pushy, crazy
yes.
as well. So, really making sure that even if it is a general question, that it's within the realm of what you guys were speaking of, like the nutrition.
It's headed somewhere.
Right. Like that'll take you somewhere. That'll take you down a different path. So good stuff. Does anybody else have anything to add? Personal things that have worked for them? I know I did an Insta story the other day. I showed you guys. Just because I walked downstairs and it was like a bomb went off of toys. And then I'm drinking my Energize, and I kind of just started to squash those misconceptions and those excuses that people come up with. And I was like, I just worked out in a dirty room with my Energize with a kid who was fussing the entire time. You couldn't tell it by the little video that I did. He was fussing the entire time. I mean, you make it work if you're going to make it work. And thank you, Samantha, for your group. I'm totally stealing all these prioritizing things. Appreciate it. But what else has worked for you guys?
I'm also buying the calendars. One thing that I have done recently that I'm going to throw out there, I used to start throwing suggestions at people, and I almost feel like they were kind of premature. And so I'm stopping because I one word vomit, or I'm like, oh my gosh, this would just be so perfect. Because a lot of times I know the person and I'm like, okay, I already know everything I need to know, but they don't know enough about it. You know what I mean? So I'm making myself a rule where I have to ask 3 questions about between both the fitness and the nutrition aspect before I even cross the suggestion line. Like I have to ask. Even if they're like, I see you're doing this, I see you're doing that, I think it would be a really good fit. What is it? Okay, well, first.
It's great for them to figure it out too. Like you want them to come up with it too, and for it to be powerful to them.
Mama Sparks.
You guys, be on the lookout for statements. I had someone that she would be ideal for over a year, and she has shown zero interest. And the other day I posted a picture of the mall and said I was escaping my craziness at my house and retail therapy, and I said nothing about workout, said nothing about food, and she continued on, and she made a joke because I said she said, are there very many things left because this store is closing down? And I said, well, the choices are getting kind of slim, is what I said, not thinking a thing. And she said, just like you are. Ding, 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 ding. So be on the lookout for stuff like that, because as I continued talking to her, she said, yeah, I've been going to a gym here lately. And so I've got a foot in the door. And that had nothing to do with workouts or food or anything like that. And another thing I would recommend is, I have just been kind of following Mike's lead, which is kind of scary. But I've been taking pictures of just everything throughout the day. Just if something happens or I see something, just take the picture. You might not use it right then. You might look at it 2 days later and be like, oh, I could say this with that. Or, oh my gosh, they don't know if you're going to the store right then. They don't know what you're doing. Just take pictures and look at them and see if you can make a really good post out of them. I saw Mike the other day. Actually, his girlfriend, Allie, you guys met Allie, she was making fun of him because he was like laying on a mat and moving his phone around and getting trying to get the right angle and stuff. And she's like, all this for a selfie or something like that. And I loved that. And I thought, yes. So just be artistic with your pictures and see what you can come out with. And one more thing, and I'll shut up. Something that I've gotten a lot of feedback on this last week. Of course, I didn't post a lot about workouts because I didn't do any, but I tried to do, like, I'm glad I feel energetic. I'm glad I feel good at 61, that kind of thing. But try and do posts like, the one I did, I got tons of engagement on it, was the one about, what was it? My mind just went blank. The pictures. That one where I said, show your picture, the last picture you took. Tons of engagement on that. The one I did this week was about, what was it about, Ashley? My mind went blank. Anyway, you know what I'm talking about. Ask questions, like give them something to do.
Oh, and the one that I did, was it the one that, I don't know, there was one that I posted too that was like, Brittany started it all.
Something that makes you angry.
Yeah, like we did the what makes you angry, and then this week we did like what puts you in a good mood. I did like the what's something you've never eaten but you feel like the whole world is eaten, just
stuff like that at least once a week, and then have conversations with those people. I commented on every single one of them, and some of them have reached out to me in Messenger. So that stuff works. Another thing I did this week that was kind of scary, but it worked. I loved it. At the same time, I finally found a group that I can interact in, and I've tried so many groups. Because everybody's like, get your friends, get new contacts in a group, and I'm like, that has never worked for me. For years I've been trying that, and it's not worked. But I found one about hair loss, and I just went in there for the first week or so. I just commented on people's things or said, way to go, blah, blah. Then one day this week, I was like, well, I thought maybe I better introduce myself a little bit. And I showed a collage of 4 pictures. One was before I started losing my hair. One was when it was at its worst. One was with the wig on, and one was now. And I just told my story, and I tell you what, I have got people loving on me like crazy in that group and asking me questions, and I'm like, yep, you're a good friend. Yep, you're good. So don't give up on the group thing. Sometimes it just takes a while to find one that you can fit into. So, okay, I'm quiet. I'm turning into Brittany.
I know, I was going to say Mama Sparks, it's our thing.
It's the concrete.
Yeah. And then Ashley throws daggers.
Well, no. I was thinking too, just like being real, and we always say that, being real and being you, because it's what works. Alyssa came back from vacation and was like, hey y'all, I'm not perfect. Remember what I did before? Here's what I just did, and Samantha owning up to, like, well, that was kind of crappy. I had a really great time. We went boating, but this is the season where people work because of the vacation. And then they just give up after the vacation. Luckily, we have people on our team who aren't giving up after the vacation, but that's kind of the norm. People do all these weird diets to get ready for the vacation.
Season.
Right. And then they give up and they don't think about it. And they're like, oh, it's sweater season. Who cares? So really just encouraging them along the way and saying giving them something to be motivated for, I guess, rather than like an event, just like making this more of a lifestyle. Somebody said the other day, like, I'm on a diet. And I was like, oh, I hate diets. And they're like, Ashley, you eat whatever all the time. And I'm like, yeah, but I'm not dieting. That's like, just, that's how I eat now. You know, like it's just whenever you hear, and don't be condescending, but like whenever you hear that language out in public and you like get an opportunity to just kind of speak your piece a little bit and be like, oh, I'm not dieting. That's gross. I hate that. You know, like I'm not doing some like low carb, no carb, deviled egg, whatever, I don't know, diet. Like you kind of just can slip that in there every now and then too. I have so many moms that we do play dates with and they're like, how do you find the time and the energy? And I'm like, oh, please, come on. You know, like